Are you lifting or training like a bodybuilder? I'm about to show you the difference and how it's going to impact your growth and speed it up drastically. One of the #1 issues I see people chronically doing wrong is they're literally lifting the weight. Now I know that sounds weird, right? Shouldn't you be lifting the weights, Chris? Yes, you should definitely be lifting them. But what you want to do is you want to lift them with intent. And I'm going to give us 3 hard examples here of what I mean. I'm going to show you the difference. The 2 things that people notice when they come train with me is that the execution and intent of every exercise is beyond focused. And what that does is that trashes their target muscle group at a rate that they aren't used to. And then the second thing they notice is the pace of the workout. And they're like, man, my muscle is dead. And that's because we're staying on it and not letting off of it. And our rest periods are under 2 minutes. And that's pretty atypical for most people. So what I want to think about here is lifting with intent. So we're going to start on this hamstring piece. I'm going to show you, replace this machine if you don't have it with dumbbells, barbell, pec deck. It doesn't matter. The machine is irrelevant. What I want you to watch is what my muscle is doing, right? So on this, what am I targeting? Chest. Specifically the mid to low portion of my chest, but it's a little bit too specific for this video. I'm hitting my chest. So what I'm going to do if I'm going to hit it and hit it properly is watch this. I'm going to grab the handles here, raise my sternum, and then all I'm thinking about is shortening my chest by driving my hands across my body. You see my chest through my shirt? Look at that. The tissue is literally working. Squeeze. Squeeze. Purpose. Now, I know for that demo, I did it super slow. Let's show you in real time, and this is lightweight, but I'm going to show you in real time. So I'm here. You see my chest work? That is because I'm making my chest do 99% of the lift. Now, I'm not naive. I know my triceps are going to get into it. I know my front delt's going to get a little bit into it. But for the most part, a majority of this load is getting taken by my pecs. Now, that's what I call training a muscle. I'm specifically targeting my chest, in this case, mid to low pec. Now, on the flip side of that, Chris, but I'm lifting the weights and I'm not growing. Let me show you what I typically see when people send me the video. I could talk to you through this whole set. I'm lifting the weights. It's moving. I'm doing the exact same thing. The difference. Now, right way, compare it. Watch this. Chest, 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 chest. I can't talk normal even with this light load. Why? Because I'm making this fully shortening cramp. Lifting the weight, I'm lifting it, I'm doing the same reps. My chest is getting 1/4 of the work. I feel a ton of that in my delts. I feel a ton of my triceps. Significant difference. Now, that's for chest. Let's show you on a back exercise. Let's say we're doing rows or pull downs. It doesn't matter. Watch this one. I'm going to show you the right way first, then I'm going to show you how I typically see it. So, setup is huge on a machine like this. What I want to think about is I want to have my hips pinched back. I'm leaning into the machine because I want to let my chest and my lats wrap around it, and then I'm going to pull back and contract. So I'm going to grab the handles here. Now, watch this. The first motion that most people do is they're off. Guess what that is? That's a rector. This is a rector. It's not back. So, wrap my lats, stretch, squeeze, stretch, squeeze, stretch, squeeze. You notice these, you see, even with 100 pounds, I'm turning red in the face and my back is fully contracting. Watch it again. Let's say normal speed. I'm not going to go super slow. You see those reps? Intent, perfect. That is crushing my lats. Stretch the muscle out, fully shorten it. Now, let's see what I see a lot of times. It's just haphazard rowing all over the place. It's this. My lats didn't do one of those. My rectors did, my shoulders did, my traps did. Because watch what you did. As you came back, that's a rector contraction. And then as you're rolling, you're pulling back. Guess what that does? That's lengthening the lats. I want to shorten the lat. So I have to push my chest into the pad and drive my elbows back. If I'm simultaneously leaning back, pulling back, I'm not shortening that muscle. I'm lengthening it while I'm trying to shorten it, which doesn't work. Someone could be doing the exact same amount of weight for the exact same amount of reps, but not getting the proper level of development because they aren't using the target muscle tissue. They might have big ass erectors, but they're like, man, I can't understand why I don't have any meat in my lats. This is a great example of why. We have to double down on form and execution and lift with purpose. Remember, we're bodybuilders. The load, for the most part, is irrelevant. It's cool to track, it's cool to progress off of, but if we aren't hitting the muscle and just wrecking it, the weight is irrelevant. All right, now, let's get on to a leg exercise and let's show you the difference there. All right, we're over here to the lying leg curl on one of the most fucked up exercises for lower body. And I'm about to show you why. Most people get a ton of erector work here, use a lot of momentum, and they miss out on the stretch. So guess what we're gonna do? I'm gonna start on this one by showing you all the things that I normally see that are wrong, and I'm gonna teach you how to fix them all. So with this next 30 or 40 seconds, please don't do any of this. It's wrong. All right, mistake number one. Most people start hips up. So the first thing they do is shoot their hips. Shoot their hips towards the ceiling. That doesn't work, guys. Guess what we have to do? We have to keep our hips glued into this pad. So don't shoot those hips up. Next, they just sling the weight. Sling the weight. Sling the weight. And again, I've even seen rock like that. Again, that's a lot of erector work, a lot of momentum, not a lot of hamstring. And then lastly here, they miss this stretch. So you see this portion right here is beyond valuable. But what if I just do this? You're like, oh, I'm killing the hamstring. Yeah, it's getting crampy, but you're missing the lengthening portion. So get all the way down to where the weights almost touch, and then up to contraction. So that's all the ways to screw it up. Now let me show you all the ways to fix those mistakes. All right, number one, for fixing the hips up, contract my abs. So I'm here, fully squeeze my abs, contract, 1, 2. 1, 2. Will you still get a little bit of hip rise? Of course. But contract those abs, they'll be way better. Now, with the jerk, grab the handles, pull yourself into the machine, glue your chest to the pad. Just like that. Lastly, you just got to do full range of motion. Look at the stack if you have to. Turn your head and look at it. The weight's almost should touch, and all the way up. Almost touch, all the way up. And then really work partials at the end, guys. Here, oh, I have to set a full range of motion. It's done. Go right into partials. There you have it, guys. 3 hard examples of how to train like a bodybuilder, train with intent, train for muscle growth, versus just simply lifting the weights. If you want to lift weights, by all means do it. But to me, I want to grow the most amount of muscle as possible. And I know that most people that watch this channel want to do the exact same thing. So we must, I stress to you, train the target muscle tissue. It's going to humble you. You're going to have to lower the weights initially. But then that progression, building it back up to where you were, that's where all the growth and magic is. So if you like this video, guys, like, share, subscribe. And until next time, Chris TV.